Okay, let me take this off and we'll take a tour. Open wefted caps are usually your best option for the summertime. Those three features give it more of that breathability for you. It does make a cute little summer style just by pulling it back like that. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and today I'm going to talk to you about this really cute, what I would call a perfect summer wig. But before I jump into it, I'm going to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. So with summer basically upon us, I wanted to share with you what I think is a perfect summer style. And I am wearing Newport by Belle Tress. So in my books, when I think of a summer style and when I think of a summer wig, I think of a few things. I think of low density. I think of minimal to no permatease. I think of a style that's mid-length and shorter. And I think of really cute waves. On top of that, I also think of lace fronts, open wefted caps, and some kind of monofilament feature on top, because all of those features allow for a little bit more breathability. So everything I just mentioned as to what I feel would constitute a great summer wig is all things that you're gonna see in Newport by Belle Tress. So let's go over this. Now, Newport, like I said, is gonna be a low density. If you know Belle Tress, you know that the majority of Belle Tress styles are a low density. Some go kind of low medium. Newport, I would say, is pretty low density, plus it has no permatease. So permatease is a short-haired crimping effect that is built into your fiber, and it's built into the root of your fiber. And what it does is it gives volume and it gives shape to your style. Plus it can also hide and disguise some wefting that I will show you soon here. But it makes it so if the wind blows or the hair moves, you're not gonna necessarily see through the wig to your scalp and to the wefting. Newport here doesn't have any of that though. So what that means for this style is that it's gonna lay a little bit lower profile. So lower to your head, it's not gonna be as poofy, and you're not gonna have that permatease there to disguise the wefting. However, I feel like on a style like this with all of these waves, that kind of creates a little bit more body so that you're not gonna be able to see through to the wefting anyways. Let me give you a quick spin of the style so you can see all sides of it. So just like all Belle Tress styles out there, this is made with Belle Tress's heat-friendly synthetic fiber. And something I always tell everybody about heat-friendly synthetic styles is that they can be a little bit tricky to maintain, especially if they are shoulder length or longer, and especially if they are curly or wavy shoulder length and longer styles. The great thing about Newport is that it is mid-length, which means you're not gonna get as much friction rubbing on the ends of your fiber here, which means you're not gonna get as much frizziness on the ends as you would if it were shoulder length or lower. So when you have these mid-length styles, that's gonna mean it's going to be pretty easy to maintain, or you're just not going to have to maintain the fiber as often, which is great because on curly and wavy styles like Newport, it can be a little bit tricky to maintain the ends when they do get frizzy and frazzly. If you are looking at how to maintain the ends of a curly or wavy heat-friendly synthetic fiber piece, definitely go and check out my video that I made on the style called Model Mode. In that video, it shows you how I maintain the ends of a wavy heat-friendly synthetic style. And it's, even though Model Mode is a really long piece, you would do the exact same thing on a short piece because this is also a wavy heat-friendly synthetic style. Now let's take a look at the actual style of Newport here. You're not gonna find a ton of layering on this. There is a little bit, maybe within like an inch or two on the ends, but it's very subtle. Even in the front, you're not gonna have really a bang here. So if I pull these pieces forward, they are pretty long, just past my chin length, and maybe just an inch and a half shorter than the rest of your style. So like I said, there's not a lot of layering in this, but just enough to make it so that the ends are a little bit wispy and not such a blunt cut wavy bob. Now Newport is going to have an extended temple to temple lace front. So you're going all the way to here on each side, of course, which allows you to pull it off of your face style it off of your face if you want to, all while maintaining that natural illusion of scalp or a natural illusion of hair growth from your hairline here. And that natural illusion of scalp is going to be in your left monofilament part. So this is from Belle Tress's City collection, and their City collection have styles with monofilament parts. They're either a left part or a center part. Newport, the one I'm wearing right now, has a monofilament left part. So when you get this wig fresh out of the box, like it is right now, it's going to come with this zigzag part. Most wigs come like this in the very beginning. If you are going to keep this style, then you don't want to keep that zigzag part because you want to expose that monofilament feature so that it does look a little bit more natural and like it is growing from your scalp. So this is a left part. You can part this as close as you can to the center of that part because you have about an inch or so of space to work with. So if I were to part it as close to the center as I can, you can almost get a center part out of this, to be honest. It's pretty close. So you might just have to like shift it like half a centimeter, if that, and you could create, sorry, it's kind of funky on the side. You could create a center part with Newport if you just give it a little bit of a help. Now I just wanted to quickly show you what this might look like if you were to pin this back. It can sort of fit into a half up, half down if you want, just barely though. You're gonna have a cute little nubbin ponytail at the back. So if you had just a tiny elastic, it might work, or a small claw clip, you could do it. I would suggest pulling out some fibers in the front to give you a little bit of that face framing effect there so that it doesn't look, so that you don't see that lace front quite as much, because that to me can make it look a little bit unnatural. So I would suggest bringing some pieces forward if you were to pull it back, but it does make a cute little summer style just by pulling it back like that. Okay, let me take this off and we'll take a tour of the inside of Newport. So like I mentioned, we have that extended temple to temple lace front, which allows you to pull it off of your face. We have that left monofilament part here that extends all the way back to your crown. Over here is your open wefted cap. So open wefted caps are usually your best option for the summertime, especially if there's no permatease in the cap. If you have a lot of permatease within the root of your fiber, that's gonna create a little bit of a barrier, making it a little bit hotter. But when you have an open wefted cap like this, which means all the fibers are machine sewn into these rows, you can stick your fingers through it, that's going to make it more ventilated and breathable and just allow for a little bit more airflow. And like I said, especially if there's no permatease, which Newport doesn't have. Okay, then we have your extended velvet nape here, which makes it to be a little bit more comfortable. And then you have your Velcro adjusters, so you can adjust your circumference up to about a half an inch bigger or smaller. Okay, let me get this back on for you. I've been wearing a wig all day and I pulled it really tight, so I have this funny line across my head. Don't worry, I know it looks kind of crazy, but it's not bothersome at all. Like, I don't even know it's there. Let me get this back on for you. So I'm wearing this in the color Caramel Blonde Rooted, which is a really beautiful, dimensional, warm, medium browned. Caramel Blonde Rooted is a really great name for it, just because it does have those caramelly tones to this. So if you are looking for something that is cool and ash, this is not for you. But if you're looking for something that's warmer in tone, I really quite love this color. And also the rooting on this one, it's not too stark and dark. It's a really nice blend into the rest of this sort of medium blonde color. So if you're looking for one that has a root that's not quite as like in your face, Caramel Blonde is really lovely. Now, because some of you like to know this, I will let you know that my measurement from the hairline here to my chin measures 7.5 inches. So if that helps you see sort of where this might land on you, then there you have it. Also, in terms of how this fits, Newport fits very true to average, as do most of Belle Tress's City Collection styles, aside from a few that fit maybe a little bit smaller than average. But Newport is one that I find to fit very true to average. It fits me okay. It is a little bit big on me, but I would just need to bring in the adjusters a little bit, and I would deal with just a little bit of extra bulk in the cap. But for me, as a petite size, who measures 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 inches ear to ear, and 11.5 inches front to nape. Most wigs are big on me anyways, and I just deal with the bulky cap and bring in the adjusters for most of them. I do find, however, the majority of average sizes that, do fit true to average, they fit me really nicely ear to ear. So when you are trying to figure out where you want your ear tabs to sit, they should be sitting just a little bit above your ear crease here. You don't want them right in your ear crease because that's gonna bother you right in there. And then you're also gonna want it to sit just a little bit ahead of your ear crease, kind of where like a sideburn would be. So that is pretty typical of where you would want your wig to ideally sit. So on me, as a measurement of 11.5 inches ear to ear, it fits me really nicely in that way. All right, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to share with you guys about Newport. Like I said, I think this would be an excellent choice for summer because of its lower density, no permatease, mid-length style, the lace front feature, the monofilament part, the open wefted cap. Those three features give it more of that breathability for you. And overall, if you're deciding between a synthetic style or a human hair style for the summer, I find that synthetics are a little bit lighter weight than human hair in general. Plus, if you're gonna be outside in the sun a lot, you're gonna wanna be careful with a human hair piece because that sun could potentially fade the color on your human hair piece, whereas you don't have to worry about that at all with synthetic styles. And also, one more reason for you why this might be a great style for the summer is if you were to go swimming in the summer a lot, whether it be at the beach or at the pool, you're not gonna necessarily want a human hair piece to do that. Chlorine from a pool is going to damage your human hair. And like I said, the sun from being out all day could fade that color. You're just gonna find that overall your synthetics can take a little bit more of a beating than your human hair pieces. Anyways, you guys, if you have Newport, let me know what you think about it. I think it's an absolutely adorable style and the perfect option to add to your wig closet. But as always, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.